Duke Luca Abel tore down the old palace in Karnaca and built himself a new one, a monument to his ego. Whether he knows it's coming or not, I'm here to exact vengeance for everything he's done to me, my family, and the place of my birth. I'm going to show him what happens to those who threaten the Empress. After tonight, the Duke will either be dead or deposed, depending on how this plays out. I've got to get inside, take care of the Duke, and find a way to steal Delilah's soul.
Can you feel it? This is my last night. Soon, I'll dissolve into the great nothing.
You deserve peace, my love.
I've stayed too long. Find Delilah's spirit. Trap her with this cage of dead flesh. Set me free.
I don't understand.
You will, very soon.
Living in a palace and sucking the marrow out of the same people who built it.
Yes. I regret my affiliation with the young Duke, but his father and I were close. It was my hope that Luca would eventually grow up and learn that his actions as ruler of Serkonos have very real consequences.
He could always count on the backing of Dunwall's finances and navy. Maybe without that, he would have developed a healthy respect for the people of Serkonos. Fear of the executioner's block has been a fine motivator for many a ruler.
Once the Duke falls, it's my hope that we can build something better here. Something more representative and inclusive.
Are you ready for this?
I've broken into palaces before. They're made to keep out armies. Stopping one man with hatred in his heart is another story altogether.
Getting inside might not be the hard part. The Duke doesn't exactly run a tight ship.
Killing off Duke Abel is only part of the puzzle. You've also got to find whatever it is he's keeping for Delilah.
You were cryptic about what you gleaned from visiting the Dust District, which is fine. The world is better with a hint of mystery. But once you're inside the Grand Palace, whatever you do could affect things in Karnaca for years to come. Remember that.
I've got a map of the Grand Palace for you, and I know something that may be useful. There's a hidden lever in the pantry that opens a passage to the Duke's vault. If he's keeping anything precious for Delilah, I suspect that's where it'll be. Beyond that, good hunting.
Everyone who crosses my path on the way to Duke Bell is going to regret it. They all deserve to bleed. Hollow had ambitions. All fallen to pieces now. I never liked the Abbey. Now that things have changed, Stilton might be able to make a difference after the Duke falls. I guess Duke Bell felt all right tearing down the old palace. I have fond memories of that place.
Once offered me a suite at Dunwall Tower, complete with a laboratory and the finest apparatus in the Isles. I declined, of course. I'm not some conjurer from penny novels. Besides, I have a great fondness for my privacy, and my interests often find me coming and going in the odd hours of night. It's hard not to consider what might have been different had I plotted a different course than my early years. Was there something I might have said or done when Delilah was my apprentice that could have prevented all this? Or is character a fixed star we must all follow in darkness?
Going after the one who started it all. The Duke himself. I forgot the thrill of it. Planning drop-off points, picking the approach. Thinking about the best ways to kill somebody who lives behind high walls. But with the excitement, there's a black echo that comes back to me for what I did at Dunwall Tower. If anyone deserves killing, though, it's Duke Luca Abel. I've loved a number of women, and even a couple of men. But I've never loved anyone like my Deirdre. After I left home, those first years on the streets, she's all that kept me from the bottom of the river. I could sleep on a pile of garbage under a leaky awning as long as she was there with me. Sharing a tin of potted meat or a bottle of brandy that we nicked during the day. The Duke and his little brother came through Dunwall, and Deirdre and I got in their way as they stepped out of their fancy coach. The Duke goaded his brother, calling us wharf roaches. And it was the brother who swung the stick that killed her. Splitting her skull, there were wooden gazelles on top of the coach. And I snapped one off and drove it into his eye, as deep as it would go. Deirdre was already gone. Dead as a doornail. Lying in the muck, staring up at the gray Dunwall sky. On the run after that. I was hunted by the City Watch and even members of the Grand Guard up from Zirconos. People looked at me like I was cursed, spitting whenever I got close. Everyone knew I'd bring trouble. Even the gangs. The Duke's brother has been dead for a long time. But now's my chance to get back at Luca Abel for setting him off against pretty, young Deirdre. Nothing was the same for me after they took her away.
Should we head toward the palace?
Let's go.
At the palace, the Duke has a lookalike body double, meant to confuse assassins. A friend of mine washes the linens and said the double is a smoker, if that helps. Maybe you can talk to him. She says he's a nice guy. What a shitty job, pretending to be a tyrant like Duke Luca Abel.
Why don't they just overthrow him?
He's got an army, control of the mines, and he's had your support from the capital. At the Duke's parties, people carve up the country while eating boiled crab.
There were parties like that in Dunwall. Toadies sucking up to Emily made me want to be back on the streets in Serkonos.
You're forgetting what that's like. I watched those party lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept. In the flooded district.
I know you struggled. After years at court, I'm a nobody again. But what I've seen here will stay with me when I return to Dunwall Tower. Being in Karnaca again has given me perspective.
Good. After you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff.
That's why they call it the black market. Can't just sit here. Too much chance a grand guard catches on to us, or maybe rightful owners coming down. Pick it up for fish
What's the delay getting it to the shop? Bet you afraid we'll get caught?
The guy that runs the shop is nervous. Protection for black market shops for years here in Karnaca and over at Corvo. So there's basically no risk.
What's your friend's name?
That's a secret. These guys deal with me and nobody else. Job security.
coming from here.
Permit, Captain. I know the laws in Karnak.
You up for a lost change? The Duke's giving the Grand Guard leeway to create new features. Nice shop. Missed that. That clockmaker.
Serafina? Her shop burned down.
Yeah, my report said it was probably the Howlers. But no one knows how the fire started.
Captain, her brother died in that fire.
Asleep inside, drunk from what I remember. You've got until tomorrow to pay up.
Getting somewhere.
Outsider's crooked cock. Don't screw me now. See? See? I told you.
Interesting get-up you have there, covering your face.
Not today. No, no, no! Someone's shooting us! One of us is down. Somebody's down.
You don't stand a chance anyway.
See, I told you.
Cock. Sand it on the baby.
No exceptions. Either you have the code or I assume something's off. My boss's orders. You know I won't do this. You're wasting time.
going on here? What happened here? I'll kill you for this.
I think his head is worth a fortune!
Damn you!
Karnaca could be her summer residence.
You're back at the heart of your homeland. A bigger, better palace than the one you sailed away from so long ago. Feeling nostalgic? Will you ever be comfortable in Dunwall again? Assuming you make it back? You've seen the suffering here, the decay, but, dear Corvo, would you even have lifted a finger if the Duke hadn't put Emily in harm's way? Be honest now. In any case, I know what you're after. The heart you carry can only hold one spirit at a time. So, if you want to walk out with a piece of Delilah, you better be ready to leave something behind.
Got one!
Feel free to browse my offerings. I am proud to say we are still open and fully stocked despite the recent incidents at other shops. A deal well made. A pleasure to do business. Very good. Come back soon, if I'm still around.
I thought I heard blood flies for a second.
Some kind of trouble in this part of town? Honestly, why can't they keep riffraff in a separate place?
Blooddock stew tonight.
I need to pee.
Starving.
He switched to the contracts when her back was turned. She only learned of his treachery when he took her home and auctioned off her belongings.
Oh, no, no, no! You had it coming! Run while you still can, stranger!
See what this says.
Setup is a huge pain in the ass. Timing windows that ignore the tides, fake boat manifests, and private door codes. Might be easier just to play it straight. Pick up and deliver goods. Anyway, so I don't forget it. The code for the black market shop is Zirconin wine is better than Tivian prisons. Idiot.
Please take a look around. I'm clearing the stock and leaving the city. Perhaps I should close the shop until the dust settles.
Zirconin wine is better than Tivian prisons.
And better Crystolian clap than Morellian gout. All right.